All right, let's now go down to Durban, and it's Dasen Thathiah who joins us. Now, Dasen, I've seen you driving around in a car with a private security official. We've spoken on this program about how South Africans who have the money are increasingly turning to private security because they just don't feel safe in their homes. Talk to me about the thing that's really stuck with you today as you've been focusing on crime and private security.
I've been trying to look at the different angles because we have to acknowledge that crime and criminals have progressed. I mean, gone are the days of where you have an incident at your home and all you could do is just phone the SAPS and then wait for that process to play out. Things are moving a lot faster now. There is more that is needed from residents, and we've tried to cover all of those angles. Some of the options that they have in their neighborhoods, they're putting up boom gates, they're putting up CCTV cameras, electric fences, gates, whatever they can possibly afford, that's what they're doing to keep the criminals out. Beyond that, they have private security companies who also respond in many instances faster than the police because they are dedicated to particular areas. But what we're about to explore now is also the role of technology in this fight against crime. Earlier, I spoke to a gentleman who was talking to me about WhatsApp groups and how that works in linking the community to police. But something slightly different here in Westville. I'm at Mobiclaw 911's offices, and I'm joined now by Dasen Thathiah. You are telling me that you have an app on your phone, or I mean rather you have an app which residents get on their phones, which effectively allows you to cover all of South Africa, but you manage that process through this app. Tell me how that works and how are people being kept safe in the area?
Yes, thanks, Dasen. It's like you say, technology is so advanced, it can assist us in any way possible by fighting crime or getting medical support to a certain person. Mobiclaw took the initiative to create its own dedicated app where a person, just by simply pressing a panic app button on your phone or on the device, we can summon any form of assistance to your location anywhere in the country, anywhere in South Africa, whether you're in Pofaddersdorp, here in Durban, medical, fire, criminal emergencies, we can get help to you as soon as possible. And thanks to the technology that was designed.
And I think the key feature then is the coordination, because it's obvious that, I mean, you can't possibly have staff across the country, but your role is more of a coordination one, isn't it?
That is correct. So we do the emergency response management. So for any type of emergency, we would coordinate a response to that specific location, be it criminal, medical, or fire. If it's criminal, for argument's sake, or for an example, we've got certain role players in various areas that is, let's call it Mobiclaw 911 approved. We would dispatch them, and it's all automated. We use quite a vast geofence network. So you press your panic in a certain area, automatically with our approval, we will activate role players that is nearest to you, and they will essentially come racing to your assistance.
I've been hearing a lot about how these types of initiatives must work hand in hand with the SAPS. I see some of you guys are going out now. So it's meant to basically bolster the SAPS's efforts and not work against them in any case. How does all of this work? I mean, do you actually have genuine success stories where through doing this, residents have genuinely found themselves being safer?
That is correct. So I was in the police for 10 years. Our CEO was in the police, and other director was in the army. We brought that knowledge over into the system where our CEO was actually dealing with a panic. A lady called into him. It was odd hours of the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and he took the phone call, started talking to her, and something just didn't sound right to our director. Luckily, his experience within the police kicked in, and essentially he just asked her, do you need help? Even though she said yes initially, he's like, do you really need help? And she just said yes. Put the phone down, and we just dispatched everyone we could think of to that location. And she was having an active house robbery where she had a knife to her throat, and the suspect is telling her, tell your security company, that's what we were called then, that everything is okay. And luckily we did dispatch. I mean, she was held up, her husband was severely assaulted. So that's just one of a million or 1,000 success stories that we've had all over the country.
Sure. Thank you very much for your time, Dasen Thathiah there from Mobiclaw 911. It just shows that as criminals get smarter, so does the technology and the crime fighters themselves in trying to battle the scourge. I mean, just driving around any of these neighborhoods, you can see already how many precautions are being taken just visibly. Sometimes you can't even see the houses in these suburbs because of those high walls and those electric fences and gates.
Yeah, that is certainly very true. And again, it makes the point that if you have the means and you're lucky enough to be able to afford private security, you can guarantee some measure of safety in this country. But for the broad majority of South Africans, it's simply not an option. Thank you so much, Dasen Thathiah in Durban.